Hi, my name is Sydney Straw. I've been working, living, and studying in the UK for the past 2 years now, and I've gone through the journey of being a student here. I've gone through the journey of visas, immigration, all those things, and now I have settled down. So, I wanted to make this video to give you a full breakdown of the expenses or the costs that are involved when you make the decision of moving to the UK. Is it true, whatever the uh, agencies that you're applying through tells you, or if you're confused about what is the exact ground cost, what's the reality of moving to the UK? So that is what I'm trying to answer in this video. So without wasting any more time, let's get started. So the first and the major cost that comes to anybody who is trying to move to the UK is the tuition fees. So I'm assuming that you're moving here for your master's degree. If you're moving for a bachelor's degree, it will be the same cost approximately, just broken down over 3 years. So you will end up paying a lot more. If you're here for a master's degree, typically the UK degrees are 1 year, and I am assuming that you're coming here for a 1 year degree. So the cost might range anywhere from £16,000 and might be around £12,000. So 12 to 16 is the sweet spot. Some prestigious universities will charge you a lot more than that. The cost can go as high as 35k depending on the university, but most of the universities, the price will be around 12 to 16,000 pounds. So even if you get in with 16,000 pounds, there are a lot of universities offer scholarships. You can easily take off another 2,000 or 2,500 pounds from the overall course fee. If you're Please make sure that you apply for the scholarships and all those things if when you're making the application. So if you're confident and if you make your research well, you should be easily able to get a place for around 12 to 13,000 pounds. So the next thing, once you've gotten offer letter and once you have established your fees, university fees, is that visa and the IHS fees. So visa fees, which stays around 550 pounds at the moment of me recording this video, and also the IHS fees is around 800 pounds. So the next expense I'm thinking of is the flight expense. Flight can be as cheap as 30 to 40k if you get lucky, but usually it is around the ballpark of 50 to 80k. So that is the price most of the students travel here for. You will easily get, if you really book it early and you make your plans well, you can easily get it for around 55,000 rupees. But then the highest I would say goes to around 80k. Anything above that, you have either been very lazy or you're making a very last moment booking. If you're careful, if you plan well, you can easily get a flight ticket around 50,000 rupees. Now that all of those things are sorted, the next thing is, of course, shopping. When you're moving here, you have to shop for things. You need a lot. You need to buy few things. Well, you can cut down your costs a lot in this particular area, but it will still at least run you around 20,000 Indian rupees, and it might go as high as 50,000 Indian rupees depending on what you already have and what you don't, what are the things you need. So let's say if you need a laptop or something, the price will get extremely high. All these things included. So I would assume the cost will be around 30,000 Indian rupees. So all of these are the expenses that you have to go through even before you leave your country, even before you land in this country. You have to pay the tuition fee, you have to pay the IHS and visa fee, you have to do your shopping, you need your flights. And all of this included will run you around 15,500 to 16,000 pounds, which is around 16 lakhs or something, somewhere in that ballpark. I'll put the detailed breakdown in the description or on a screen somewhere. So you will spend around 16 lakhs even before you leave your country. So what happens when you land in here? So the assumption that most of the students come here with is that they only need a month's expense and then they will be okay as they move forward, which is definitely not true. So the average time a student for needs to land a job here is at least 2 or 3 months, at least. I have seen a lot of students. I myself got my part-time job after almost 5.5 months of moving into the UK. So getting a part-time job and solving your financial issues is not easy. But as soon as you get a job, everything becomes okay. You can still maintain. It's not that as soon as you get a job, you'll start making a lot of money, you can save or you can send money home. That does not work that way. You will not make enough money to keep sending home money, all these things, until and unless you get extremely lucky or something happens for you. But you can definitely live. You can definitely pay your rent. You can definitely earn enough money so that you have put on your table, you are okay to live. You will live a comfortable life with the part-time income. So the rent, if you're moving to London or any metro cities, can go from anywhere from 600 pounds all the way up to 1,200, pounds. So I'm assuming that you're a single person moving into a single room, so your rent is definitely going to be somewhere around 700 or 600 pounds. If you're very lucky, you'll get a single room for 600. If you move a little outside of the main cities and go to the outskirts, you'll find a room for 600 pounds, a single room. But if not, if you're in the major city, the rent might go up to 800 pounds or 750 pounds, depending on where you live, of course. But as soon as you land, you will also require to pay the deposit. So deposit will again run you um, around 600 to 800 pounds, because usually the deposit is 1 month's rent. Some places it is 1.5, some places it is 2 months. So it depends, but usually the first month's deposit is around 800 pounds or 600 pounds, just 1 month's rent. So once you have paid your deposit and your rent, the next major thing is your groceries and travel. Groceries can usually range anywhere from 150 if you're living below average and you don't spend a lot of money into fancy things, and it can go up to 200 and 250 pounds if you're living in a metro city, or if you're living in a very expensive place. Then your grocery will uh, it will be around 200 pounds at least. Your travel, especially in the first month, because you don't have an oyster, you have not registered as a student yet, all these things will, the first month, the travel is going to be a bit more expensive and might cost you around 200 pounds. So assuming you pay 200 for your groceries, you'll need another 200 for your travel expense. Once you have both of them sorted, especially if you have just landed in here, you will definitely need to buy some winter coats and some shopping here and there, some socks and stuff. I would recommend you don't buy winter coats and all these things from India, because the ones you get here are much better and they are the ones you'll need for to bear the cold here. The ones you get in India are not really that effective in fighting the UK cold. So you will need another 200 pounds just for base minimum shopping, just to settle you down. Maybe you need to buy a duvet, a pillow set, and hangers. All these little things will add up and cost you around 200 pounds at least to just settle down in this country. So adding them all up together, you will spend 200 on travel, 200 on food, 200 on shopping. That makes it 600. Assuming that you got an apartment for just 600 pounds, that makes it 1,200, and another 600 rent, around 1,800. So the first month itself, you'll need at least 1,800 to 2,000 pounds in your hand just for you to land and survive here. That is around 2 lakh Indian rupees. So you will definitely need this amount to comfortably settle down here. So once you have settled down, the first month is gone, then the cost is significantly less. It's not too less, but assuming that your rent is still 600, you still get, let's say, the price for travel, you got your oyster and it has reduced to around 150 to 100 pounds. Your grocery is not too much. You are still okay with 150 or 200 pounds or something like that. So you will, for your survival, you will need at least 1,000 or 1,100, 1,200 pounds in this country. So at the end of the day, for the first 3 months, you will need at least 2,000 on the first month, 1,000 on the second, and 1,000 on the third, making it all at least 4,000 pounds. So at the end of the day, I'm assuming that after third month, or at least in that time period, in that period of 3 months, you will land a job, you will get a part-time job. The part-time jobs here will easily earn you at least 800 to 1,100 pounds. And once you are accustomed to things, once you know where to buy, once you know what to do, where to go, where you get the cheapest things and all these things, the university funds will be there, all these things you will understand, and then you will be okay after the third month usually. So assuming all of this criteria, that you get a rented accommodation for 600 pounds, you live in an area where you can easily have your groceries met at 200 pounds, the 100 pounds traveling is enough. You don't travel too much, you don't use you don't change 2 3 tubes every day. Assuming all these things, you will need at least 4,000 pounds, or around approximately 4 lakh Indian rupees, to survive the first few months in the UK. So when you calculate all of this together, you will at least need 16 lakh rupees just to move to the UK, and you will at least need 4 lakh rupees to settle down and get you started in the UK. So counting that all together, that brings our total to around 20 lakhs Indian rupees. So here I have not counted your mobile bills, your internet. If you are living in a flat that does not cover your utilities, you have to pay your utilities separately. All so many extra expenses I have not calculated. University application fees, your IELTS fee, all these things I have not calculated. If you add all of them together, you will at least need around 21 to 22 lakh rupees to land and survive in the UK. Now, is this mandatory? Definitely not. You might find a college that offers you for just 10 lakh rupees. You might find the ticket for 30,000 rupees. You might find a room for just 400 pounds. You might land a job as soon as you come here, within a week or something like that. And you, from the first month onwards, you have your salary coming in and you're not spending too much money. I have seen people who have survived in just 15 lakh rupees, who have survived in 13, 14 lakh rupees. But to be sure, to be confident, and to get started, my personal safe boundary is at least 20 lakh Indian rupees. If you do not have 20 lakh rupees in your bank account, the life here is going to be very unpredictable. You don't know what might happen, you don't know what might change, you don't have a safety net to fall back to if something goes wrong. So if you are thinking of moving to the UK, this is the amount I would recommend that you get ready and have in your bank account, so that you can focus on coming here, you can focus on settling down, and you can focus on having a brighter future rather than your financial burden. So that's it for this video. I hope this gives you a perspective. I hope this helps. I hope I have made things clear. If there is any doubts, I put a form in the description box where you can text me or put in your query, and I will try to get back to you as much as possible. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, peace.